everyone, it's Skylar. How are you all doing? I hope you're very well. I am just waiting for Andre, so don't worry, he'll be here shortly. I am currently in Picasso after work, enjoying a strawberry daiquiri. So yeah. So this live video is going to be a little bit different tonight. You are going to see me and Andre, of course, but we're going to do a little bit different. So what we want you to do is we want you guys to tell us what some of your favorite films. We want to know what your favorite movies are, because this is all round 2 of our favorite movies of our continuing series. I'm just waiting for Dre. So yeah. So obviously I have to talk over the music, so I apologise for that. But what can you do? Yeah, I'm in a good spot. So yeah. So yeah, we're just waiting for Dre. And then we're gonna do like a little intro and all that. I have the plan here, everything's here in my new notebook, which I paid 80 cents for. It's of like a moon, but it's lined paper, so like from Pet and Co, because that's what it was tonight. So yeah. So, hopefully you're enjoying the scene as you do. So yeah. And if anybody wants to pop and say hi, so first of all, I have new nails on finally, and I freaking love them, and I'm going to be having something similar to this near enough all the time, because I have a little announcement to make as well. Yeah, 2 announcements. And I will be doing I will be doing a separate video to do with the giveaways. Me and Simon have thought of a couple of prizes for you guys. So yeah. And we have our guest. He is here. Hey Andre, how are you?
I'm hanging in there.
I'm good. Just got my strawberry daiquiri here. Look at me with my cocktail. Because I'm at Picasso after work, so I thought I'd do.
That's one of my favorite drinks.
I'll do a little change tonight. So we've got a little bit of a change for the guys and gals on the live tonight. We are still going to go with a little bit of an order at the beginning, but we're going to change things up at the end, because Andre liked something that we done the week before. So we've got something a little bit different for you guys. And it's more of a get to know us as well. And I thought that we should do this week after everything that's gone on, all the bullshit. So it's more of a like, we're getting your movies, we're getting all your stuff like that, but we are also getting to know us a little bit more, which is good. So yeah, what do you think of my strawberry daiquiri then?
That's one of my favorite drinks.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of enough of the intro. So I think I'm going to take it away to one of my busy mates, partner in crime, Dre. Take it away. Show us what you got this week, lads, or over the past 2 weeks.
This is going to take a minute, because I did an order from Discogs a week or so. Well, the package came last week, but I ordered it the week before, and I ordered me a bunch of new 45s. So I am going to show them off here, but like I said, this is going to take a minute. There's a lot of them.
Whoa. Technical difficulties, but we're here.
Starting off, we got Diamond Girl by Seals and Crofts. Coming Around Again by Carly Simon.
Wow.
This one, I don't know if you have these kind of 45s in the UK, but around here we have these ones where like Columbia or Epic used to release like certain songs that were hits, and they would do a double A side on like a series called
Wow.
Memory Lane, or Electra Asylum had Spun Gold. Columbia had their Hall of Fame line, but this is one like that, and they were usually double A sides. But this one is Mellow Yellow and Sunshine Superman by Donovan.
Wow. Oh yeah, like a double-sided one.
Yeah, where it's like a hit on both sides.
Yeah.
Forever Your Girl by Paula Abdul.
Nice.
Doctor My Eyes by Jackson Brown.
Wow.
And We Danced by the Hooters. As a lot of these are out of the 70s and 80s. America by Neil Diamond. I love me some Neil Diamond.
Classic.
Yeah, joint went out. Give me a sec here.
That's okay. We're allowed to smoke on our live show. Yep. So smoke away.
I Think I Love You by the Partridge Family.
Yeah.
This one's also a double A side. It's Dressed for Success and The Look by Roxette.
Wow, Roxette.
She's a Lady by Tom Jones. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is giving you all a little insight into my taste in music.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put that down. I can't smoke and do this at the same time. This is another one of them double A sides. It's Soul Deep and Cry Like a Baby by the Box Tops. That's one out of the 60s. If Looks Could Kill by Player. They're the band that did the song Baby Come Back.
Baby come back. I don't know if that was the version, but I just...
No, it's a different one. It's a slow one. Little Liar by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Wow.
Love Me by Yvonne Elliman.
Yeah.
Dreamboat Annie by Heart.
Nice.
This Flight Tonight by Nazareth. Walk Away by the James Gang. Love Will Find a Way by Pablo Cruz.
Yeah.
Jessica by the Allman Brothers. Another one of them double A sides. This is an Asylum Spun Gold, but it's Heat Wave and Tracks of My Tears by Linda Ronstadt. Look Me in the Heart by Tina Turner. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
One Step Closer by the Doobie Brothers. This Is It by Kenny Loggins. Tell It to My Heart by Taylor Dane.
Wow. I'm loving this.
You Don't Have to Go Home Tonight by the Triplets.
Yes.
This is another double A side. It's United Artists Silver Spotlight Series, but Poor Side of Town and Baby I Need Your Lovin' by Johnny Rivers.
Yeah.
Dirty Laundry by Don Henley.
Yeah.
King of Rock by Run DMC. Don't Say Nothing Bad About My Baby by the Cookies. They were a 60s girl group. Reach Out of the Darkness by Friend and Lover. That's one out of, I believe, the early 70s. Bus Stop by the Hollies. They were a 60s, 70s band, part of the first British invasion. Palisades Park by Freddie Cannon.
Yeah.
Careless Whisper by Wham. Waiting for a Star to Fall by Boy Meets Girl.
Wow. That's a classic.
Tonight She Comes by the Cars. Monkey by George Michael.
Woo.
You Can Call Me Al by Paul Simon.
Yes.
Judy's Turn to Cry by Leslie Gore.
Love it.
All I Want to Do by Heart. Hold on, I got one more stack. We're getting there. Call Me by Go West. More Than Physical by Bananarama.
Wow. I love these.
Fright Night by the Jay Giles Band. This is the song that plays at the end of Fright Night. Out of Control by Tuesday Night. If that name sounds familiar, it's because she was Kristen in Elm Street 4. And she also does music. Laughing by the Guess Who. Don't Sleep in the Subway by Petula Clark.
You just froze a little bit.
Oh, okay. Let me
There you go.
back.
You're back.
Who did I miss? All right, hold on. The last two were Laughing by the Guess Who and Don't Sleep in the Subway by Petula Clark.
Wow. Love it.
Good Times by In Excess and Jimmy Barnes from the Lost Boys soundtrack.
Classic.
Good Thing by Paul Revere and the Raiders. Another Day in Paradise by Phil Collins. Still the One by Orleans.
Yeah.
This is a Motown Yesteryear double. It's Just My Imagination and Paradise by the Temptations.
Yep.
I Woke Up in Love This Morning by the Partridge Family.
Nice.
Johnny Angel by Shelley Fabre. This is from like 58, but it's a song I grew up with. This is another double A side, Woman, Woman, and Young Girl by Gary Puckett and the Union Gap.
Yeah.
The Reflex by Duran Duran.
Yeah.
This Will Be an Everlasting Love by Natalie Cole.
Ready?
Yeah. This Time I Know It's For Real by Donna Summer.
Oh, Donna Summer. Woo!
Up Around the Bend and Run Through the Jungle by CCR.
We told you he had a lot to show you.
Black Cat by Janet Jackson. And lastly, Paper Roses by Marie Osmond. And that was all of them.
Wow. And for people that have just tuned in, I've just polished up a lovely strawberry daiquiri. And there is another one just getting made for me now because I already paid that before the stream started. So, well, Ray thinks he's the only person that he's got to show something off. Well, I actually have something I need to show off because for people that don't know, in Liverpool, like most of my collection of my Wardlow stuff was there, so I obviously can't ever get it back. But lo and behold, I am wearing my favorite Wardlow t-shirts.
Nice.
Which is the Mayhem Wardlow in blue. So I officially got this back 2 days ago. I had to reorder it. It's in an extra large, but it feels better on me. So yeah.
Well, keeping with that theme,
we're both wearing wrestling t-shirts.
This is a jersey. I've had it since I was 14.
Whoa! And it looks good on you. So, yeah. So I thought, yeah. I was like, I didn't even know that you were going to even wear your wrestling t-shirt. And I was like, I'm going to wear mine for the live. And had no. So the one that you've got next, that's the one I want to buy next. I want to either get the War Dog or the Hunt. That's the one that's next on my list.
I've got them still. They just need to be washed.
Yeah. But I will say this: Simon approves of my new t-shirt. He went, "Why didn't you go home and get changed?" I went, "Well, I'm wearing a brand new top and I'm doing a live video with Andre."
And
He went,
I do have, not to interrupt, I do have a little good news on my own front. I've got an update on that house we're going to be moving into. It looks like mid-August or maybe the 1st of September we're going to be moving in there. It's pretty much almost completely finished. Our landlord told us it'll be like mid-August that we'll probably be moving in there.
Wow, amazing. Well, I kind of have a little bit of news.
You guys will be seeing me from
I've kind of got a little bit of news on behalf of Simon. He's starting a new job on Monday. Jay, he's starting a new job on Monday. He's getting 2 days off work. He's getting extra money. And he's going to be working better hours. He's sick of it down there.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's going to be more towards that way, more towards this is like the old town of Cali Girona. He's actually going to be in the new town of Cali Girona, but I'm not going to tell you where he works because that's like our business. So yeah, but speaking of other good news, I'm engaged. I'm engaged. Simon popped the question to me. 2 weeks. It'd be just over 2 weeks ago. No, it's crazy. And I've been engaged 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
I know. And we've been together 3 months. Over 3 months, and we're already engaged. But you know how it is. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So
exactly.
Yeah. And we're both happy, and like everything's going well for us. So yeah, and I'm going to be doing my contest video over the weekend. Me and Simon have already planned prizes for you guys as well. So this is going to be an epic one for 300 subscribers. So yes, I am still over 350 subscribers, and there is going to be a giveaway, and the giveaway will be worldwide. So enough of the intro, enough of all the good news, because it's amazing that we're both happy in ourselves and nobody's going to get in our way and all that jazz. So,
exactly.
Ray, I am going to hand it to you. Yeah, I am going to hand it to you now. I want to know more of your top 10 favorite. And wow. Yeah, gracias. My second strawberry daiquiri has arrived. Look at that, guys. I have a strawberry daiquiri.
Nice.
It's beautiful. Hasn't got a lot of alcohol in it, but it fits in the right place. So, Dre, over to you. We are carrying on
like usual.
We are carrying on with our series that we're doing a favorite movie. So this is our next 10. So Dre, we're gonna leave it with you. You're first.
Top of my head like we did last time, because I just found that to be more fun. You have to forgive me if I'm looking away. I'm setting up my little screen behind me, so I got something going.
Yeah, but before Dre starts, right? If we both ever say the same movies, it's because we both
catch us if we ever say the same movie, especially me, because I'm not writing anything down.
Yeah. The only thing I've written down is the next part of what we're doing after this. So we're winging this one, guys, for you.
Actually, give me just a second. Be right back.
Right. So yeah, Dre's gonna wing it with his list. Obviously, I don't have my movies here. Obviously, in Benidorm, the movies that I've done the first time round are currently being ordered and are currently being sent to my PO box, so I'll be able to watch them again. And the same with these movies. So yeah, And as you can see in the background on Dre's end, there is Buddy playing his game. So obviously I want to say hello, but he's too busy enthralled in his game. So yeah. And with mine, on the next round, you are going to get a couple of surprises. And I think Dre already said one of his on his first part. Now I'm doing mine on the second part. And yeah. And then after this, I'm going to see how well Dre knows me and see how many he gets right. And then the last part is to get to know us, which is very exciting because we've got about 2 hours to do this, so it's all good. Hope Dre can last 2 hours. Only because the fiance finishes at 3 o'clock in the morning and it'll take him like 40 minutes to clear up and that. It's the weekend.
I'm back. Just let me take care of these.
Okie dokie. Dre's just sorting out his movies. Oh, yeah, for you guys that don't know, I needed nails. Because I forgot to also mention as well. Hey Dre, I forgot to also mention something. There's a reason why I have short nails, and it will be permanent. I also start a new job on Monday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm doing my treatment out here, and there is a shop that is taking me on, and I start Monday afternoon. I start from 4 till 8.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So they're just trying me out for the first couple of days, for a couple of hours, and then see how I get on, and then we go from there. And the place isn't too far from where Simon's new job is, so yeah.
All right, so I've got my first movie on my list, and it is, I'm going with, I have to kind of call a mulligan on this one because I couldn't choose between the original and the remake, and that is Gone in 60 Seconds. The original from 74 is basically what I call the ultimate chase movie, because once you get to that 45-minute mark, when the dude gets in that yellow Mustang, it is nothing but one long chase for the rest of that movie's runtime. And then with the 2000 remake, the cast alone, Nicolas Cage, Angelina Jolie, Robert Duvall, the end chase in the 67 GT 500. I mean, I could go on and on about that movie. But yeah, Gone in 60 Seconds, both versions. It's going to be my first one of the night.
Right. Well, my first one, we're going with a movie from 1988, and I have to go with her, the one and only Cassandra Peterson, also known as Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. This is a film that I grew up with, and I freaking love.
You're going to be surprised. I've never seen it.
You've never seen Elvira, Mistress of the Dark?
No.
Holy shit. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I'm just going to say a couple of scenes from the movie, and that's it. Not to spoil it too much. All I'll say is basically Elvira in one of the scenes does like a midnight show, and it's her take from Flashdance, but instead of the water, it was supposed to be gold glitter. But the twist to that was she ends up getting oil put on her and feathers, and she has to take it off with diesel.
I know there's also the scene where she was doing a Rambo thing.
Yes. Yes. That was because she was trying to, she's like doing like a fight scene with her uncle who's trying to take the cookbook, and that's what it's all about. Because she got the house and the cookbook and the dog, the uncle wanted the cookbook because it was more, it wasn't recipes, it was like spells, because on one of the recipes that she done, it was a love spell, and she got all the people to kiss and make out and everything like that. But one of my favorite scenes in the movie was she punches Patty in the face, and she pulls it off, and it reveals she has no boobs. So yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I was more into Elvira when she was hosting like the horror movie thing on TV. But
Yeah.
it would depend on the movie. Like if she was doing something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then of course I was gonna watch it. But like I said, outside of some of her little clips from her horror movie show, she wasn't really my thing. If I was watching one of the horror movie hosts, it was Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
And he did Monster Vision on TNT.
I watched growing up, and we were one of the first people in our street growing up to have Sky TV, and that was the first movie that we watched that night when we got it all set up and that, which was Elvira. So number 2, I'm gonna bring it back to you.
Alrighty, give me a second to think. We are going to go back to 2001, and stop me if I've talked about this one, but it's basically a ripoff of Point Break, but I love it. Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, The Fast and the Furious.
You haven't talked about it, so take it away.
This movie, like I said, it was basically, when you think about it, it is a straight ripoff of Point Break. But at the same time, with the street racing angle, it does somewhat of its own thing. And it turned me into a fan of both Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, as well as Michelle Rodriguez. And it's been one of my favorites since I first saw it.
Yeah.
Like, I knew of Paul Walker before Fast and the Furious. Like, I'd seen some of the stuff he'd done. Like, he was really big before that because of the movie She's All That. He played the dude that makes the bet with Freddie Prinze Jr. And then I believe the same year, or no, let me think. That was in 98. Yeah. Varsity Blues came in 99. And he played the team's quarterback. So I saw those two. And then there was the Skulls with him and Joshua Jackson. That was really good. I saw all of those before Fast and the Furious, but it was Fast and the Furious that really made me a fan of Paul Walker. And with Vin Diesel, I'd seen Pitch Black, but I think that was it. And again, that once I saw Fast and the Furious, I was a fan. But yeah, my number. Yeah,
so
go ahead.
My number 2 is a movie a year later after the first one, which is 1989, starring Alan Katz as Bob Maluga Luga 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 Luga, as in Big Man on Campus, as also known as Hunchback Hairball of LA. Oh my word!
Big Man on Campus. Again, I've never seen it.
Oh man, I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm going to tell you a couple of bits from the scene. One of my favourites was he's looking out the tower, and he sees Kathy, and he's like, "Oh wow, she's pretty," and he jumps. And he comes from the bell tower with the rope, and he comes down, and he's looking for Kathy, and he's like, come to me. And she's like, no, because she was getting attacked by these guys. And then the next thing is he gets put into a mental ward, but one of the students, Alex, looks after him, ends up looking after him, and basically, he said, if you look, the professor says, hey, if you look after the hunchback, then you'll get extra credit. We'll add more onto your credit for like the school and stuff like that. So that happens. So as we go into the film, right, I have to mention this. one of the doctors talks to Bob, and she said, have you ever made love to a woman? And he goes, no. And he goes, have you ever made love to something more than other than a woman? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, well, what? And she went, well, vacuum cleaner, douse dryer, and this, that, and the other. And then she went, and then he goes, 2 speeds. That is just like one of the main quotes from that film. I love it. And then in the end, he gets to kiss that doctor who's been helping him, because he fell in love with the doctor in the end. So, oh man, it's just a classic. I love it. I grew up with the film, and it's a movie that I'll never ever forget. So, you're number 3.
Alrighty, this one I don't have to think about, but again, stop me if I've talked about it. We're going back to 1939, starring Norma Shearer, Joan Crawford, and Rosalind Russell. This is called The Women. Now, this movie, how do I talk about this movie without going into spoiler territory? I will say, for one, the entire cast, including all of the pets you see in the movie, all of the animals, are women. There is not a man to be found. Joan Crawford is at her most, I will say, deliciously evil, because I will go into a little bit of spoiler territory because I have to. One of the big plot points with Joan Crawford is that she's trying to steal Norma Shearer's husband, and she succeeds with the help of Rosalind Russell's character, who is the cousin to Norma Shearer's character. There is one of my favorite lines from Joan at the end of this movie, where she's looking at all of the main bunch, and this is like one of the last lines of the movie, but she says, "So long, ladies. You know, there's a word for you ladies, but it isn't used in polite society outside of a kennel." But yeah, I will say, Scott, if you can find that movie, check it out.
Yeah. So just finish off and say. So my number 3, we're actually going to 2002, and I know practically almost every single scene to this movie. Some people know this across the pond as The Source. We in the UK know it as The Secret Craft. Starring Melissa Renee Martin as Ashley, Edward D. Rutter as a on-screen brother Zach, Alice Frank as Phoebe, and Matthew Scollin as Reese, as the new kid in town. So basically, Reese moves from San Francisco to this new town, and he's like the new kid. He's the goth kid, and he starts to get bullied, as you know, and he basically befriends Phoebe. Phoebe's character, she's like practically allergic to everything, so she has all these probiotics and all this stuff. And then Zach and Ashley, which is Edward and Melissa's characters, they are twin brother and sister, and they're like, Zach's like the brains, and Ashley's like a little bit of a cheeky slut. I'll just say that she's a little bit of a cheeky slut, but she's not like too much of a slut. She draws it in a little bit. So anyway, basic concept of this movie is 4 teenagers, they find a rock in the middle of the woods out of nowhere. They stand on top of it, and basically they get superpowers. Edward is like the mind. Well, that's Zach. Zach is the mind. Phoebe is telekinesis. Ashley's is hypnosis, but she also can tell people what to do. And obviously, Reese's is the power to hear and the power to heal. So they end up taking over the school, causing mischief with their superpowers. But Ashley gets like the big head, and she wants all the power for herself. So she tries and takes over everybody else. but it doesn't work because Reese ends up winning, like the little battle of the app. But I will say this: one of my favourite scenes is there's a guy called Lane, and then you got the teacher, and the teacher goes, um, you have basically like stuff that you're not supposed to have, and she goes, I don't have anything. Where is it? And then he goes, Lane, and he goes, it's in a bag. It's in a bag. And then the teacher tries to touch it, and she goes, don't ever touch me. And then she goes to Lane, you're dead. But it's just like crazy. And then she goes with the phone to Zach, not Zach here, Reese. She goes to Reese here, well, you're talking this and you're listening the other. And then it's just crazy. But it's a typical teen film. It's got like stupid, but it's really, really fun. Low budget, but I absolutely love it. So yeah, I wasn't spoiling it too much. So yeah, you're number 4.
All right, so my next one, and this is one I have wanted to talk about for a while, is from 1977. The stars are James Woods, Louis Gossett Jr., Charles Durning, Burt Young, and Randy Quaid. This movie is called The Choir Boys. It's about about the misadventures of a group of LAPD cops, and that's basically it. It's a comedy along the lines of something like the MASH movie, where it's really funny, but at the same time, it's got some really dark moments. And I will say my favorite part comes, well, I have two favorites, and they both come early in the movie. It's when they're all first going out, and all the cop cars are parked in this one lot. So everybody's in their cars. They all back out at the same time, causing a huge traffic jam in the lot and damn near colliding into pretty much everybody you can think of. Then it's about not even maybe like 30-40 minutes after that, they have these parties at each other's houses basically to unwind. And a lot of them are crushing on this one female officer that they have. And they call her No Balls Hadley because they have two officer Hadleys, a guy and a girl. So they say Balls Hadley and No Balls. Well, No Balls has just gotten out of the shower. She's in her robe and whatnot, basically changing. One of the officers, I basically call him a fat boy. She's sitting on this glass table and she's got no panties on. He's under this glass table and he's just smooching on the glass. She looks down. She sees him, starts literally just freaking the hell out, grabs a golf club, starts smashing at the table trying to get to him. All the other guys have to run in there and fucking grab her. Them are pulling Fat Boy out of there.
Wow. That's a movie that's just made me enthralled that I have to watch it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll link you the trailer in the chat.
I need to watch that movie. So
I'll link it. Let me find the trailer. I'll link it in the chat.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm just excited for this. So number 4 for me. I am going to 1993, and I know that this movie isn't popular with some of you guys, but I freaking love this movie, and it is my favorite of this franchise. And I know people are going to kill me for this.
I know where you're going.
Brian Yazuna, starring Melinda Clarke.
Yep.
And we're on about Return of the Living Dead Part 3. I love this different concept to obviously this franchise, that it's from a lab, and basically Melinda Clarke's
seen this one. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah. Well, Melinda Clarke's character is with this boyfriend, and
I know her from the OC.
Yeah. And basically they were involved in a motorcycle accident and she was killed. So he goes to his dad's lab because he's in the army. So it's like Secret Service. So basically, the gist of this
Isn't
is
there one
he
point?
gets doused with this liquid stuff that turns it into a zombie, basically.
Yeah, I was about to
And
say, isn't there one point in the movie where she's putting like shards of glass into her skin and stuff like that?
yeah, I was about to talk about that. So yeah, anyway, he's being turned into this like zombified because the only thing that satisfies it is blood and brains. So as what Andre's saying is there is the scene where she's in like this cell, like this sewer in this room, and she's wrapping herself up, putting glasses into it, needles into her fingers, looking a bit like the female version of Freddy Krueger. She's got a rock in her hands. Um, she even pierces her own nipples, pierces her own belly. She has chain. She puts the chain in the neck, in and out of her neck, around. Spikes in her head. Lip pierce, the lot. And
I
then
do
she comes
respect it
out
for
and
trying
she
something
is,
different. I'm not gonna lie.
and she
I do
is
respect it for
freaking
trying
badass.
something different. It's just not for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was, and it was good for that time. But like I know a lot of people do hate it. But then she just kicks ass and she just rips the hell out of everybody. But the thing is, what I like about it is she doesn't go and kill her boyfriend because she knows that her boyfriend's helped her as much as he wanted her to kill him. And then in the end, it's like the whole furnace that they both go in the furnace together. Because in the end, he
Yeah,
gets bit
I noticed
in
she had
in
a
the lab.
little bit more. She had a little bit more of a what do you call it? Like she was more aware than the zombies in 1 and 2 were.
Yeah,
Like almost like she was a bit more alive than they were. Like she still had some of her capacity.
yeah. But I know people say this is the worst in the franchise. I don't think so.
I
Because
don't
in my
agree with
opinion,
that. I will leave that with 4 and 5.
I think 4 was the worst. I'd say
I didn't
4,
care for
5.
either 4 or 5, but I will not say that 3 is the worst.
No, 3 is the worst. But 3 is my favourite, followed by 1 and 2.
I'll say it's my
5
least
and 4.
favorite of the original trilogy. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Of the trilogy, it is a weaker of the trilogy, but I just love it because
I go in
it takes
order
off
in terms
different
of
things
liking them.
on a zombie genre, on like the zombie. That's what I love about it. So yeah, right, you're number 4.
Alrighty, number 4. Let's see here. We are going to go back to 1976. Our stars are Robert Duvall, William Holden, Peter Finch, Faye Dunaway, and Ned Beatty. I am talking about the Oscar juggernaut known as Network. Basically, just a few days in a TV station where Peter Finch is about to be fired because his news program is getting low ratings. So on the air, he decides to announce that he's going to commit suicide in 2 weeks' time, live on the air. This causes the ratings to go up, and people want to keep hearing what Peter Finch's character has to say. And there's only one scene that I will say is like probably my favorite, and it's probably the most iconic. And it's Peter Finch. Basically, he's given this whole spiel on air, but he says, I want you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up now, go to the window, open it, stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Then it cuts to across, I believe the station is in New York City. And there's all kinds of people sticking their heads out of the windows in this rainstorm and yelling, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. But it's a really good movie. And when you look at some of it, especially like Ned Beatty's character and some of the shit he says, it's kind of prophetic in the way that corporations run everything.
Did you send me the link to that?
Yeah, or do you want the one for Network?
Yeah.
Okay, let me
So
find that.
Yeah. So he's gonna. So all these links he's gonna put. You guys can like watch it through. So we're halfway there now, and this is a movie that is in my top 10 of my favorite movies of all time. And it is from the year I was born, 1983. And I have a soft spot for a certain director, Italian director, who actually was the the antagonist. Basically, he was like the killer in this one. And I love the twist, I love the soundtrack, I love everything about this movie. And of course, it is A Blade in the Dark, and it does star Michelle Sophie as Victoria. He's like the guy dressed up as a woman, is in Victoria. And we find out about Michelle Sophie. I'm going to slightly spoil it a little bit. He was one of the people as a child that was you are a female, you are a female, you are a female, you are a female, and these people that were taught him. But obviously, and then he goes on like this killing spree after they all grow up, killing people dressed up as a woman. And basically, there's a guy there that's making the movie about this guy from his childhood. So he's in this place, and he's doing the music for the film because he's been asked to do the music for the film. Obviously, he has a girlfriend, and the girlfriend is a bit of a crazy one in this. And then these two girls out of nowhere always come over to where they live and say, oh, such and such a guy said that we can use the pool. And then they use the pool, and then one by one they get filled with girls and stuff like that. It is a typical giallo, but it is freaking amazing. I love this movie. The soundtrack just gets me all the time. I need to find that soundtrack on Spotify. I want that song as my ringtone because it is freaking amazing. So yeah, that's the short of A Blade in the Dark. So yeah, over to you, number 5.
All right, let me think for a second. Have I talked about FM?
No, you haven't.
1978, starring Michael Brandon, Eileen Brennan, and Martin Mull. Basically, a few days in the lives of the disc jockeys and people who work at Q Sky in Los Angeles, which is, at this time, the most popular radio station in Los Angeles. And it's basically about what they deal with their corporate higher-ups, the people who own them, that basically want to put more commercials on air and less music. And it's basically about people at the station fighting the people at the corporation. And it basically, that's basically the full gist of it. But a good soundtrack start to finish. I mean, if you're into classic rock, this is definitely a soundtrack to get. Favorite scenes. All right, I've got at least one. This girl comes in while Martin Mull's character is on the air. He's there because he's using it as a stepping stone up. He's hoping to become like a game show host or something like that. Well, this woman comes in who's a fan of him, and she's apparently, I guess you'd say, an adult movie star or something like that. But she sent him she sent him her picture, but he had never looked at it. And it was one of her topless where she had white nipples. And so we don't see it, but she takes off her top in front of him. And of course, they start going at it. And sadly, one of them bumps the button that puts the microphone on, so that what Martin Mull and this girl were doing in the studio was going out on the air. And it was some of the funny stuff because there's another girl that Martin Mull's character is basically dating. She runs in, and there's no other girl. And Martin Mull's character has basically pulled it as he was trying some kind of sound effects record at the same time this other song was playing. And once everybody else leaves, the girl with the white nipples pokes her head out from under the studio desk.
Give me a second. I need some gum in my life. Because I remember buying some gum from. Yeah. So I just want a bit of gum. So so I got watermelon flavour bubble gum.
Nice.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm on to number 6 now, and where Andre was talking about a movie from 1978, I am actually going to be talking about a movie from 1978, and I also think that Dre has actually spoken about this movie before. We are on about Faye Dunaway, we are on about Tommy Lee Jones, we are on about Bradbury, and we are on about the late great Raul Julia.
Eyes of Laura Mars.
Yes. If you want to put the trailer for this, by all means. Basically,
you can go ahead since I put you onto this one.
Yeah,
I do want to hear your thoughts anyway.
It was Andre that actually put me onto this movie, and I freaking love it. It is in my top 15. Faye Dunaway is basically a photographer, and through her eyes, she takes these pictures and all sorts of crazy things happen. This is also Tommy Lee Jones' one of his first ever movies. And if you also recognize the name Bradbury was...
It's actually pronounced Durith.
And what was he, Dre? What's he noticeable? Yep, he is Chucky. Yes. So, to get back into the film, quickly, the gist of the film is like Faye Dunaway is this photographer, and she sees things through the lens, and all sorts of things happen that, like, the bodies are contorted, it's like full of effects, full of blood and everything. She just sees like all bad things happening through the lens of this camera.
Also, what you haven't pointed out is that it's all happening to people around her.
Yeah, it's actually happening around it as well. And like, wasn't Raul Julia her ex in this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was her ex.
And Tommy Lee Jones was more like the love interest.
Yeah, he was the cop.
Yeah. Now we're on the right track. And basically, she was thinking at first that it was Tommy Lee Jones' character as well. But in the end, it all comes into like full effect, and you just have to see the movie to fully understand and appreciate why I love this movie.
Can't give away.
Yeah. If you want to add anything else to this movie, you can do quick before
all I will say is the Barbra Streisand theme song. Mwah.
Yeah, the music. So yeah, Dre, over to you, number 6.
Alrighty, let me think. I want to talk about one of my favorite lesser-known horror movies from 1990. The stars are Jenny Seagrove, Carrie Lowell, whom people might know from License to Kill, the Bond movie, and Law and Order, and Miguel Ferrer also in a small appearance. This movie was also directed by William Friedkin, being his return to horror 23 years after The Exorcist. This movie is The Guardian. It's basically about this young couple, and they've just had a baby, and they hire this nanny. Only this nanny is a little bit, I will say, too perfect. Because at the very beginning, you see her with another family, and you see her taking the baby. Where is she taking the baby, we wonder? We see her taking it out to this tree. when she basically sacrifices this baby to the tree and the baby disappears. But you see its face appear in the tree. And basically this nanny, or as we know now, she's a druid, has gone on to this next family and wants to take their baby and give it to this tree. And that's basically the gist of it. How's the family going to save their baby? Favorite scenes, I have to say, is one where the nanny is out with the baby she's currently taking care of at this point. And these 2 or 3 muggers come up and they try to assault her. Well, she leads them to the tree. This is when we find out this tree is not just a tree. This tree is alive. It cuts one dude's head off, basically eats another, drags the third and rips him in half. And then, oh my goodness. And then at the end, because the father of the baby has now found the tree, he knows what the name is. He's got chainsaw. He starts chainsawing up this tree and blood starts coming out of it. And as he does more damage to the tree, you see bits and pieces coming off of the nanny at the same time. But this movie does not get a lot of attention. It was
my kind of movie. That sounds like my kind of movie.
Trailer inbound, just a second.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure I found the right one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. So my number 7, we've got a bit of a trend here. Because my number 7 actually also comes out from 1990. It is a movie starring one of my favorite actresses, Sherilyn Fenn. We did talk about Boxing Helena last time. Now this time we are talking about Meridian, Kiss of the Beast. A very, very unusual movie. It's not one that's been talked about a lot. And basically the gist of it is Sherilyn Fenn's character she's under this spell, and every time she sleeps, she's wakes up and she sees the beast and she ends up making out with the beast. But for people unbeknownst to the beast is also a twin. There's a guy that's the twin of the beast. He's the evil guy, and he tries to trick Sherilyn Fenn into staying away from the beast. But the beast also goes to another guy at the end. That's a little. But I just love how unusual this film is, and how it's just really, really amazing how they've played it out. It's just a little gem that I think that everybody should watch once in their lifetime, because Sherilyn Fenn is one of the most underrated female actresses I've ever known in my life. And she will go from one end to the spectrum to with this Meridian, which is more like a romantic horror. Which is more of a disturbing psychological horror.
Do you want to know something interesting about her?
Yeah.
Guess who her aunt is?
Who?
Have you ever heard of the singer Suzi Quatro?
Yeah.
That's her aunt.
What? Wow. Yes. But that's what I'm saying about Sherilyn Fenn. She can do a lot of variety of different roles, and I highly recommend you watch Meridian, because it is a different sort of movie.
I liked her on Twin Peaks.
You need to watch it. I need to get this back on Blu-ray to show Simon, because I freaking love this film. So your number 7.
Alrighty, let me think for a second. Ooh. I got it. I'm going with a childhood favorite of mine from 1986. The stars are Ali Sheedy and Steve Guttenberg, and this is a classic to me, Short Circuit.
Wow! I am going to be talking
Sci-fi.
about this in my.
I love that movie.
So do I. I'm glad you brought it up.
Since we both love it, I'm not even going to go into the story, but I'm just going to go to my favorite scenes. When Ali Sheedy first finds out number 5's a robot. God, I am so stupid. Stupid, foolish, gullible, doltish, dumbbell, lame brain. Shut up, silence, hush, sit on it, can it. Boy, am I the jerk of the world. You're just programmed. Jerk of the world, turkey, idiot, pain in the ass. And then when he's fighting his non-malfunctioning counterparts later in the movie. Hey, laser lips, your mama was a snowblower.
Wow, I love it. I love it.
I think that was probably the first VHS tape we had in our house when I was a kid.
Yeah, I freaking love that movie. I used to remember growing up. It used to be on BBC One almost every single Christmas with Gremlins and the Goonies.
I'd
And
always
we would
cry at the
watch
end.
the fuck out of those films.
I'd always cry at the end of Short Circuit. I still do.
Yeah, it was sad. And Flight of the Navigator as well. That's a classic. So, any more to add to Short Circuit?
Oh, if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah.
Again, a great theme song that was actually, I believe, a number one or number two hit on the first year.
Yeah. Well, number 8 for me also is from the year I was born, 1983. It stars John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. It is two of a kind. Basically, in this, John Travolta is like an inventor, and bad things like happen to him, and then he ends up, something happens to him, and he gets seen by a ghost, and he says, you've got to, basically, like, something's got to happen, and he ends up seeing Olivia Newton-John, and then they end up getting together at the end, and then it releases whatever happens to him. But I will just say, I can't spoil it too much because you have to watch the movie. There is a song in that film that is one of my favourite songs of all time, and it's called Twist of Fate by Olivia Newton-John. I freaking love that song. Oh my God. If they ever have that on a karaoke, I have to sing it because it is one of the most amazing songs I've ever heard in my life. And it is one of Olivia Newton-John's better songs.
It's been on every one of her greatest hits albums.
Yeah. And it's called Twist of Fate. Do you know what I actually thought at one time? That the movie was called Twist of Fate. And it wasn't.
I got something to show you, speaking of this movie. How about that?
Yes! That's more like it. You know how I feel about that movie. That cover alone is freaking insane.
And that was just given to me by a buddy.
So you're number 8?
My number 8, okay. Since you mentioned John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, I have to go to 1978 John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John, Stockard Channing, Jeff Conaway, and Didi Khan. I am talking about the classic, the immortal Grease. What else can be said about this movie that hasn't been said? It is the classic story of Danny and Sandy. Summer lovers basically turned into high school sweethearts and everything they go through on that road to getting together. The music
iconic soundtracks ever bought.
Yes. I have the vinyl. I play it at least once a month.
Yeah.
And the CD's in my changer. It never leaves.
Yeah. It's just every song on that soundtrack is insane. It's just amazing. I'm glad you started to talk about it because it is a freaking classic. So yeah, there's not more else that you can say about Grease because it is a freaking gem.
And too many favorite scenes to talk about. Oh my goodness.
You could go on all night. That's all I could say.
I will say I was 6 when I first saw Grease. Olivia Newton-John became one of my first crushes. And for life.
So we're almost there. We're almost finishing off on this top 10 list. So my number 9 is from 2000s. I love this freaking movie from start to this. Like I'm not a fan of too many comedy movies, but this is a freaking comedy to the highest. This is probably one of the only movies I like of this actor. And we're on about Adam Sandler. It also stars Patricia Arquette. Quentin Tarantino is in this. Reese fans, you have Tony Tiny Lister. You've got Dana Carvey, who was Garth from Wayne's World. Rodney Dangerfield, Harvey Keitel, Reese Witherspoon, and of course the
I know.
Cameo by Ozzy Osbourne.
Little Nicky.
Yes. And basically, the gist of this story is basically the brothers decide to go to Earth, and the father begins to disintegrate because he's the devil. And it's Adam Sandler, who's Nicky. He's the only chance to get them back to hell. And basically, little things happen to Nicky. He gets run over, he gets put back to hell, and he goes back to Earth again. And then he meets a lovely lady called Valerie, which is played by Patricia Arquette. And they start a little romance. But in the end, and I love how he goes, "Adrian, get in the flask! Get in the flask!" And they're like, "No," sort of thing. But in the end, obviously, they get to hell. And we also find out that Nicky's mom is an angel. And yeah, and in the end, I love the scene where Ozzy Osbourne, you have to say it, bites the head of Adrian, puts him in the flask, and then obviously the devil is saved. But I have to mention, because this is one of my favorite scenes and it doesn't get spoken about a lot in this movie, the pineapple in the ass scene from the devil to Saddam Hussein. That is fucking Adolf Hitler. Is it Adolf Hitler? Yeah,
I think so.
Oh my god, yeah, one of the two, Saddam Hussein or Adolf Hitler.
I believe it's Hitler.
Yeah. Oh my word, it's freaking insane. That's all I need to say about the movie. So 9 to you, Dre.
Alrighty, my next one. I am gonna take you back to 1997. Actually, no. Strike that. Hold on. Not that. I'm thinking something else. Yeah. All right. We're gonna go back to 83. Directed by John Carpenter, starring Keith Gordon, John Stockwell, and Alexandra Paul. I am talking about the Stephen King adaptation, Christine. What else
Yes.
can be said about this? A 58 Fury that is somehow possessed by some kind of demonic spirit. What or who or what it is, we never know. And it
Yeah.
just, the geek buys this car and all of a sudden becomes cool, gets a girlfriend, and we find out that it's because of this possessed car. And the car is changing him. It starts taking out the bullies that are messing with him one by one. Those are probably my favorite scenes.
Yeah. A nice hat, by the way, Dre.
Oh,
I
thanks.
love your it hat, Pennywise.
Ah,
Hey,
that's
this is here. It's Mr.
oh, you took
Bones.
one enough.
He's saying boo 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 do.
You
There we
took
go.
long enough.
Boo boo do. Yeah, I think you know what that means. So yeah, finally you arrived. We want to know what some of your favorite movies took you long enough. And he's here saying laugh out loud. So, are we ready for number 10 for me? We are going with a movie from 1974. And then he put, this is Mr. Bones. I heard it in in Rose Red once. Laugh out loud. I just got home. So, right. So, we are going with 1974. The reason why I am named the Skylar Bronson is because it's Charles Bronson. We are on about Death Wish. As in,
Yes.
Charles Bronson is the most famous vigilante, and he goes around fucking shooting people because he shot his fucking missus. A gang of people shot his missus, and then he goes one by one killing everybody, and he doesn't give a shit. I
They
love it.
violated his wife and daughter. If the wife dies, but the daughter survives.
Yeah. And then he goes after everybody, and even the police don't even arrest him, which is like so cool. So yeah, you're number 10, Dre.
You can definitely tell the brave one took some inspiration from Death Wish.
Yeah.
The scene on the train alone.
Mr. Bowman said, "Where's Batman and Bloodman?" You mean
Bloodman already smoked, but is about to roll up another one in a
Bruce
few.
Wayne? You mean Bruce Wayne and Sean 420? I did send them messages, so they should. I think Batman might be lurking somewhere here. He's watching out. So yeah, Dre, you're number 10.
Alrighty, number 10. Let me think again. I got one. And Skyla, this is a comedy I will recommend to you. We are going back to 1980. The stars are Robert Hayes, Julie Haggerty, Leslie Nielsen, and Lloyd Bridges. This is the classic airport movie spoof, Airplane.
Wow.
It's basically a spoof of all those like Airport 75. It's a spoof of all those. And if you've ever heard the line, I am serious, and don't call me Shirley, that's where it comes from. But yeah, that's just a great one all around. One of my favorite scenes is, besides the I am serious and don't call me Shirley, is near the very beginning when Robert Hayes' character is arriving at the airport. He gets out of his taxi and you hear the PA system, only it's two voices, and they're going like normal, but then they start bickering back and forth over what zone is for what. And it's the funniest thing because then after that, it starts getting personal. All of this while people are getting out of taxis and whatnot, they're all hearing this stuff. And then my other favorite part is this one lady things have already started to go crazy on the plane. And this one lady, she starts freaking out. She's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. And someone comes up, calm down, it'll be okay. They start smacking her. Another one comes up, excuse me, I'll take it from here. Calm down, it's gonna be all right. Excuse me, doctor, you're wanted on the phone. Calm down, calm down. And then you see it's just a whole line of people on the plane waiting with like different implements, like you see a big brother waiting with a wrench just to slap this stuffing out of this poor lady. And there's even a nun in line waiting to smack her.
Yeah.
But it is probably one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I am going to send you a list of comedies I would recommend. And
Definitely.
Airplane is one.
Yeah. So basically, we've just done our second round of our favorite movies. This is going to be like a continuation of a series that we're doing. So I hope that you guys can join in and tell us some of your favorite movies as well. That's what we want to know. So we're going to do a little bit of a twist, right? I'm going to ask Andre something, and he's got to guess how well he knows me out of these two things. And then the last part is we're asking questions to each other, and then you're going to get to know a little bit more about us. So, Dre, are you ready?
We go back and forth on that first one too.
Which?
That first one.
What first one?
The one you're going to do. Why don't we, the questions you're going to ask me, why don't we go back and forth?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, like, I've got to, it's like sort of the same thing. So I've got to find out what do you prefer as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how well do you know me? So what do you prefer? This is the first part of it. Does Dre, and for me as well, does Dre prefer coffee or hot chocolate? So I have to guess that, and Dre has to guess whether I prefer coffee or hot chocolate. And I'll let you know. I'm gonna say coffee for you as well.
Hot chocolate for me.
So you're hot chocolate, so.
Although a cappuccino counts as coffee, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah.
But yeah, I prefer hot chocolate though.
Yeah. So, Halloween or Christmas? I think this is going to be an easy one.
Halloween.
Halloween as well. Right. Music or movies? This is the more harder one.
I'm going to say movies for you.
And I'm going to say music for you.
Can I call a technicality and pick both?
Yeah. But you are right for movies for me, so yeah. So, next one is talking or texting.
Talking?
I'd say texting for you.
Yeah, I'm more of a texter.
Yeah, I'm more of a talker, so yeah. So, blue or red?
Blue?
I'd say blue for you as well.
Yep.
So you're blue, but I'm actually red.
Oh, so I got that one wrong.
Yeah. Oh, that's me right. So, yeah. So you've only got one wrong from me so far. So spring or summer?
Summer?
I'd say spring for you. So you're more of a summer guy?
Yep.
I'm actually more of a spring girl. So we didn't. So autumn or winter?
I'm gonna guess autumn.
I was going to guess winter for you.
No, I hate the snow.
Oh my God, I love the snow, so I'm winter. So we didn't get that right either. So baths or showers?
You'd think my living in Michigan. I would love the snow. No, I hate it. Can't go anywhere. You're stuck in the house.
So
have to do it
bath or
crazies that come
showers?
up the first couple weekends of January.
Yeah. So bath or showers? I'm actually going to say showers for you.
I'm gonna say bath for you.
I'm actually a shower kind of girl.
I prefer showers, but I like a good bath every so often.
So yeah, okay. So we'll give you that one. So American football or soccer?
Football. I'm gonna say soccer for you.
I'm gonna say football for you. So we've got that one right. So next one is pizza or cheeseburgers?
Ooh, I'm gonna say cheeseburgers for you.
I'm gonna say pizza for you. Yes. So I'm actually a pizza kind of gal, and you're like a cheeseburger.
No, I like pizza.
I said pizza.
Yeah, I'll eat pizza more than a
we're
cheeseburger.
both the same. So we're both, yeah. You said cheeseburger, and it's actually pizza for me.
No, I said pizza. But I guess cheeseburger for you. I got that wrong.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway.
No, I even make my own homemade pizza.
So cake or ice cream next? So next is cake or ice cream?
I'm gonna guess ice cream for you.
I'm gonna guess cake for you.
I like cake, but I cannot lie. I am an ice cream junkie.
So you were right about the ice cream for me. So yeah. Grapes or watermelon?
I'm gonna guess grapes for you.
I'm gonna guess watermelon for you.
Really? Really? I hate watermelon. I break that stereotype.
So you're a grapes kind of guy.
Break that stereotype. I don't like watermelon.
I love watermelon.
I don't.
So we got that wrong. So the last one.
Aren't I an enigma?
So the last one for this one is sunrise or sunset?
I like sunset. I'm gonna guess sunset for you.
I was actually gonna guess sunset for you. Because it's actually sunrise for me. It's actually sunrise for me. Well, Batman is in the house. Skylar, tread lightly with your answer.
I think you meant with that last one, the watermelon.
Yeah. Yeah, watermelon. I love watermelon. I had watermelon for breakfast, so yeah.
I had to give you that look. I had to do it. I laugh because of that old stereotype. Oh, all black people like watermelon. I don't.
So now, this is the fun part. This is where you get to know me and Dre on a little bit more of a level. But if Dre doesn't want to answer any questions, then we fully understand. So if I don't want to answer any questions, then that's okay as well. So first one is, are you willing, Dre, to tell people your full name?
Not really. Mainly because I don't want somebody to send the stream to my mother.
Okay.
So no on my full name, even though you already know it, Skyla.
Yeah. Well, as you know, people know Andre is Andre, so like we'll just keep it as that. So, but my full name, I'm gonna let you guys into a little secret, right? I have a birth name, but I legally changed my name on March 16th, 2016. So my birth name was Kelly Ann Harrison. I never had a middle name ever in my life. So when I legally changed my name, I really wanted to have two middle names, and I got that. So my new name, well, my now name is Skylar Raya Rayuka Bronson. But that could change soon enough. But I won't ever reveal my new last names to you guys.
I still remember part of what you were going by when we first met.
Yeah?
I remember the first name, just not none of the rest of it.
Yeah. So, is Dre willing to reveal who his current crush is? Besides Barry.
Are we talking like celebrity crushes?
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, do they have to be like people who are currently acting, or
Whatever you want. If you've still got a crush on them, you still got a crush on them.
1, Drew Barrymore, 2, Gina Davis, 3, Heather Langenkamp.
Right. So, okay, then we'll do top 3. We'll do 3 in any particular order. So, my 3 celebrity crushes, well, my 3 crushes. Obviously, I've got to put Simon in there. So, he'll always be number 1. Maria Di Spaghetti Getty Skylar Bronson Stroman. That's a funny one, that. I have to put that there. So anyway, obviously, Simon will always be number 1. 2, Wardlow. We have to put Wardlow in there. And 3, you might be a little bit shocked about this one, because it's not an actor, it's an actress. It is... You're going to be a bit of a surprise that I do have like a little bit of a crush on her. She was in Neighbours, an Australian TV series.
Oh, I thought you were talking about...
She broke out to a role recently called Barbie, as in Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah. I think she
very
is
good looking, but her opinions, oh.
I think she's beautiful, but I haven't seen Barbie yet.
She is beautiful, but I wish she'd keep all that woke bullshit to herself.
Yeah, but I will say I'm really more intrigued to see Oppenheimer, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have an addiction? We're on about a healthy addiction.
Closest thing I would say, probably weed.
Well, weed's a healthy addiction, so yeah.
And then, of course, music. I get into a record store, I'm completely like, ah.
Yeah. I'll just do it.
Going mid-August, I don't know yet.
I'll just do it straight. Music, movies, wrestling, makeup, clothes, shoes, and hair color.
Anime.
I change my hair color all the time. Hair color.
I gotta do an I gotta throw in anime, games, wrestling,
Yeah,
records.
you gotta read that, Dre. Skylar's pushes. Psy Preston's Wardlow.
Nah,
And dancing Psy. And guess who's joined
Sean
us?
finally made it.
Yes, he's finally made it. Hey, Sean. Woo!
Y'all missed my record pickups.
Yeah. So the next one is, are you willing to tell the people how tall you are?
5'10" if I stand fully straight, 5'11", maybe 6'1". But if I'm standing
I'm
as straight
five.
as I can, 5'11".
Yeah. So Dre is a tall motherfucker.
Well, Barry's a little taller than me.
Well, I'm 5'3.5".
You're about as tall as my stepmom then.
Bruce Wayne saying you're 8'7".
I wish. Be taller than Yao Ming.
We wish we was. Right, Dre? Are you willing to reveal your relationship status?
Happily married.
And I am officially going to say it. I'm fully engaged. Right, Dre.
Yeah.
Are there any girls that you trust?
I have a couple of my closest friends. You're one, and of course my friend Stacy. They're like the two that I would consider my closest female friends.
Yeah. So
Because
yes,
Stacy,
saying,
we've hung out since high school.
look at this. He's congratulating us. Yes.
You know,
I've been
thanks.
trying to keep it a secret for a while, but obviously it came out now because you saw the new nails and all that jazz. So anyway.
But yeah, like I was
Right.
saying, Stacy is one of my best friends. And if you've ever heard me talk about the Mirage incident, she was one of the people involved.
So the girls I trust, obviously Jilly, because Jilly's my home girl from back at home. Girls I trust. Lisa, Jen, Nikki, Monique. Basically my home gals. And Christine LaRouche. So yeah. So
I'm gonna put it this way when it comes to my homie Stacy. She's the J to my silent Bob.
Yeah. So boys that you trust.
Oh, I have, let's see, Barry, of course. Chris. I have another friend, Matt. Me and Chris have known each other since we were 14. Well, actually, Matt and I have known each other since junior high. Chris, I met freshman year through Matt. We basically became like the three amigos. And then I have another friend who now lives down in Tennessee. His name's Brian. I've known him since I was in 8th grade. So yeah, he's another one that I would pretty much trust with anything. But yeah, them four, Barry, Chris, Matt, and Brian. Oh, and then my buddy Robert.
Are you ready for the boys I trust? The first one's next to me, Dre. Obviously, Sai, because he's my fiance. Brucey Wayne. Sean 420. Mr. Bones. And I'll say I kind of trust Christian a little bit. He's Simon's workmate, but probably that's about it. Yeah. So obviously you, the mods, Sai, and Christian. So what's your current mood?
Happy.
Look at this.
Happy, but
To all
like
the
my
boys,
mind is
Scarlett
just like,
before.
I don't know what you'd call it. Because like right now,
To
like,
all the
I'm
boys
happy.
the Scarlett stuff before. Yeah, to all the
Like,
boys the Scarlett stuff before. Fuck
Yeah.
you, motherfuckers. Fuck you. That's all I'll say.
Like how I'll
So-
put it is, I'm happy, but my wheels are spinning.
Yeah.
Like I'm always thinking, especially since we're about to be moving to that house. I'm trying to think, how am I gonna furnish it? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that?
Yeah, but Skylar, you trusted my stalker Lisa, laugh out loud, and then Sean saying laugh out loud as well.
Ouch.
So my current mood, if I can call it different, like obviously I'm happy, but I'm content. But I'm also like, I have been feeling like a little bit anxious and depressed, and you'll know about that later on. So yeah. So, what is Dre's favorite color?
Blue, purple, pink, and black.
My favorite colors are black, blue, silver, and green. Green. So Sean was saying the Oppenheimer IMAX film length is 11 miles long.
Damn.
Yeah. And then Bruce said, Scarlett, it was a play on the Willie Nelson song To All the Girls I Loved Before. Oh, yes, who do you trust? And then Sean went, green. So, does Dre have a confession that he wants to put on camera or not?
Nope.
Nope.
I guess the only thing I would put out there as a confession, I have a new passion for owls.
Yeah. Hang on a minute. Sai's phoning me up. Hey. I'll be quick. He's round the corner waiting for me. So I have to finish my drink and obviously we have to finish the stream. So what we will do is, starting from next week, we'll do our little bit. I'll hurry up and ask him a food question because I've got to get off.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because Sai's dead tired. So anyway, go on, ask Dre the food question quick. How is Detroit pizza, he said?
Oh, some of the best you'll ever have.
Right.
Basically, if you have the Little Caesars near you, their deep dish is Detroit style. Because they started here in Michigan.
Yeah. He's heard all about it. So what I'm going to say, I apologise for ending the stream early. It's just that I've got to go because Sai's tired and I've got the keys. So, yeah.
All right.
So what we'll do next week, hopefully, we will be back on Friday. We're going to do our another 10 lots. If Dre gets any more bits and bobs, he'll show it off. And then we will start that part of the Get to Know Us where we've got a few more interesting little stuff. So I'm so sorry that I have to abruptly end the vlog, Haley. Yeah. So you're gonna hear more about us next week. So I'm gonna continue on. So Dre, thanks a lot for taking part. Sorry I have to dash.
Always good being here.
Yeah. I've gotta be with the fiance now. So yeah, I'll see you later. Love
Alrighty.
yous. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.